Hi, welcome to another video from Refrit. Today I am going to explain current affairs today. That's on 28th August 2020. First topic, the Golden Jubilee Anniversary of Bureau of Police Research and Development. This Bureau of Police Research and Development is an organization situated in New Delhi. Today, that's on 28th August 2020, the Bureau of Police Research and Development is celebrating its Golden Jubilee. That means, after formation of this bureau, 49 years completed and it is going to step into 50th year. That's why it is in use today. Mr. G. Kishan Reddy and S.H. Ajay Kumar Bhalla are the chief guests for this program, and it is conducted fully on virtual mode. And it is viewed by the Bureau of Police Research and Development Headquarters, its outlying units, states, police and CAPFs through the video link provided for this purpose. And look at the formation of this bureau. The Bureau of Police Research and Development, it was formed on 28th August 1970. In 1970, it was formed through a resolution made by Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India. And its mandate with a mandatory to promote excellence in policing, speedy and systematic study of police problems, and applying science and technology in its methods and techniques by the police. And at the formation, when it was formed in 1970, it had only two divisions, that's Research, Publication and Statistics Division and Development Division. Thereafter, another divisions were added. In 1973, the Training Division was added on the recommendation of Gore Committee on Police Training. In 1995, Correctional Division was started to study the issues of prisons and prison reforms. In 2008, the National Police Mission was added and the Development Division was restructured as Modernization Division. And finally, another unit, Central Academy for Police Training at Bhopal, was added, and it is specialized as Center of Excellence for Police and Correctional Administration. At present, the Bureau of Police Research and Development has 6 outlying units, and the contribution of the Bureau of Police Research and Development so far has been summed up by Union Home Ministry, and as on today it completed 49 foundation days and it is entering the 50th year of existence. Now the second topic that we are going to discuss is BDPs in India under Atmanirbhar Bharat. Bulk drug parks in India under Atmanirbhar Bharat. Friends, as you know, India is importing active pharmaceutical ingredients, APIs, from other countries, and its dependency regarding to this APIs is on average up to 60 to 70%. To check this dependency, the Union Government of India is going to reduce the dependency over other countries regarding to APIs, and under Atmanirbhar Bharat, it is going to produce all the bulk drugs needed for the preparation of medicines to public in our own country. Regarding to this, the government is proposing to set up 4 bulk drug parks to ramp up these active pharmaceutical ingredients capacity in the country. For this, in March, the Union Cabinet approved 6,940 crore rupees budget production linked scheme to promote these bulk drugs, and this program was launched by the Union Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers in line with the vision and clarion call for making India Atmanirbhar in the pharma sector. This scheme envisages creation of 3 bulk drug parks in the country, and for this the government is going to give grant in aid for both northeastern and hilly states and general states. For northeastern and hilly states, the government is going to give grant in aid up to 90% of the cost of the project, and for general states the government is going to give 70% of the project cost as grant in aid, and the maximum grant in aid for both hilly areas and general states is limited to 1,000 crore rupees. As we said earlier, the need of the scheme is, at present India is the 3rd largest pharmaceutical industry in the world. Though it is 3rd largest pharmaceutical industry in the world, it is significantly dependent on imports of basic raw materials, that's nothing but APIs, to produce medicines. In some specific areas, this dependence is from 80 to 100%, and this scheme is expected to reduce manufacturing cost also. By this, the government is going to reduce the dependency on other countries for bulk drugs, and this scheme will also help in providing continuous supply of drugs to the public, and it ensures delivery of affordable healthcare to the citizens. That's why the government is going to establish these bulk drug parks. Under these bulk drug parks, one bulk drug park is going to be established in Andhra Pradesh state, and regarding to this, Andhra Pradesh government along with the Union Ministry of Chemical and Fertilizers, it is allotting at least 2,000 acres under this BDP scheme, and Andhra Pradesh state is also ready to constitute AP Bulk Drug Infrastructure Corporation for this purpose. Making it fast, the AP state government issued GOMS number 45, and the AP Industrial Infrastructure Corporation APIC was the authorized body to submit an application seeking the establishment of this bulk drug park in the state to the Union Government of India. This project involves a private partner also. This private partner will be offering land, design, build, finance, develop and operation of this park. And this BDP scheme will also have the knowledge partners, the Indian Institute of Chemical Technology, Council of Scientific Industrial Research, or the knowledge partners regarding to these bulk drug parks in the country. Now the third topic regarding to parliamentary standing committees. Do you know who is the chairman of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Commerce? V. Vijay Sai Reddy is the present chairman of Parliamentary Standing Committee on Commerce, and this committee submitted the 154th report on exports of agriculture, marine, plantation, coir and turmeric products to Rajya Sabha chairman and Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu in New Delhi on Wednesday. Regarding to this issue, the parliamentary standing committees are very important for our examination point of view. Let us discuss these parliamentary standing committees in detail. These parliamentary standing committees were formed on the recommendation of the Rules Committee of the Lok Sabha there were 17 departmentally related standing committees in Parliament in 1993, and in 2004 7 more such committees were set up, and the number at present of these parliamentary standing committees is 24. But what is the objective of forming these standing committees? To secure more accountability of the executive to the parliament, and particularly for financial accountability, these parliamentary standing committees are formed. These 24 parliamentary standing committees cover under their jurisdiction all the ministries and departments of the central government. When you look at the composition of these committees, each committee consists of 31 members, 21 members from Lok Sabha and 10 members from Rajya Sabha. Total 31 members are there in each parliamentary standing committee. But how these 21 Lok Sabha member of parliament are nominated? The members of the Lok Sabha are nominated by the speaker from the MPs of Lok Sabha. And what about the MPs from Rajya Sabha? The Rajya Sabha MPs are nominated by the chairman of the Rajya Sabha from its member of parliament to Rajya Sabha. But there arises a question whether a minister is eligible to be nominated as the member of any of these standing committees. Now, a minister is not eligible to be nominated as a member of any of these parliamentary standing committees. If in case a member after nominated to these committees appointed as a minister, then to go as a minister as the member of this parliamentary committee, he has to resign first and then he has to take the charge as a minister. But what about the term of all these standing committees? The term of office of each standing committee is 1 year from the date of its constitution. Out of these 24 standing committees, at present 8 work under the Rajya Sabha and 16 committees work under the Lok Sabha. Now, under the Lok Sabha procedure, there is a rule 270. It's very, very important. Recently, Lok Sabha speaker issued guidelines to all the chairmen of these parliamentary standing committees regarding not to disclose the reports framed by these committees to any person or media before submitting to concerned Lok Sabha speaker or Rajya Sabha chairman, and provided that under this rule, provided that the government may decline to produce a document on the ground that its disclosure would be prejudicial to the safety or interests of the state. And the fourth and last topic in our current affairs today is Kiran, Mental Health Rehabilitation Helpline. Kiran is the name given to this helpline number. It's issued by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. On August 27, 2020, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment launched Kiran Helpline, which gives access to mental health resources. The Kiran Mental Health Rehabilitation Helpline number is 1800-599-0019. Again I repeat, the Kiran Mental Helpline number 1800-599-0019. It will provide callers who are suffering from these mental health problems, especially these times of pandemic. This type of mental health problems prevail in the society. That's why the government under this Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment arranged a helpline called Kiran. It will provide callers support for early screening, first aid, psychological support, distress management, mental well-being, preventing deviant behavior, psychological crisis management, etc. This helpline targets to resolve issues of people across the country who are experiencing stress, anxiety, depression, panic attack, adjustment disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, substance abuse, suicide thoughts, pandemic-induced psychological issues, and mental health emergency. So the government arranges a good helpline number for the patients who are suffering from these mental disorders. And the ministry said there was a need for emergency help and support to those going through mental health services, particularly during this COVID-19 pandemic. That's all in this video regarding current affairs today. Thank you for watching.